Oh, we're live. What's going on, guys?
What's happening?
How you doing?
Hello.
Hi.
All right, let's do a quick intro. How's everyone doing? Welcome back to the CKQ podcast. I'm Clement, your host, and today we have a lovely panel and we have some good questions to go over. But before that, just a little housekeeping. If you're new to this channel, please hit the like button. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. If you really enjoy the content, subscribe to the channel for a lot more of this stuff. And let's get into it. You guys saw the questions. How'd you guys feel about it?
They're tough, Clem.
Are they? Are they? You're lying to me.
Very deep questions.
So, Nique.
Like Monique.
Shanique. Okay, so we were really sitting here trying to how are we going to say it?
Yeah.
Who got it right? No one?
None of us. None of us. We got Nike.
I was closest with the Nique.
Nique.
Yeah, it's like Monique, Dominique. My name's Shanique.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So for everyone actually on the channel, she actually has a YouTube channel of her own. I found her actually doing another panel with a group of people, and I really liked her controversial points. So I'm really glad you could join us today, Nique.
Oh, not a problem. I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. So let's get going with the first question on the panel. We don't understand what it is to commit to someone anymore. Nique, let's start with you.
I think that's true for like this new, the new generation that's coming. Mm-hmm. Just because of the social media aspect, the different driving forces out there. More people are more like career driven, if you will, and have their own personal goals that they want to reach. So I don't think that adding someone into the mix is, something that a lot of people are interested in doing because it could muddy the waters. And so I do believe that, commitment is kind of out of the door if you can't find the right person that is willing to be there with you and understand your goal and help you progress with
the right person, or are we looking for the perfect person?
No, just the right person, because no one's perfect. Yeah.
I don't know. Let's go to Elmer. What do you think?
I have to agree with Nique a little bit, especially in these. I would extend it to the next generation and these last 100 generations. You know what I'm saying? I think that before divorce, the commitment changed when the definition changed. The definition used to be for thousands and thousands of years that it was something physical, something that you had to do physically. And that was marriage, or that was, a contract, something like that. And then now marriage doesn't mean that anymore. You can be married and not commit to your wife or husband at all. You can leave them at any point in time because of divorce. So is
that really committing though?
Exactly. Like it used to be. That's what it used to be, and now it's something else. Now commitment is something in your head, something that you have to do emotionally, psychologically, or spiritually, even if you go that far. Now you have to commit to your significant other in a way that you can't show them.
Yeah.
And people don't get that. People don't really know how to do that. And the closest is having a kid, I think, because the only real commitment someone has is to their kid. So now you can go. That's like that's the only thing. You can't leave your kid, and women especially. Like men leave their kids all the time. Not all the time, but men leave their kids. There's something calling to you to stay with your child, and to me, that's what commitment is. Is like a weird beyond your understanding that keeps you locked in.
Okay. I'm going to circle back to everyone, but let's just get everyone's rough answer real quick. Kristen, what do you think?
I guess I kind of agree with Nique. I think people are like are communicating more what they actually want in life and have different priorities. And so like if it is the right person, like and their ideas and priorities match up with yours, there's no problem with commitment. But when it comes to like, you know, people have different priorities. They're more like work driven or things like that. So I don't think there's a problem with commitment, just that people change like kind of what they want out of life, and not of all of it matches up. And I think that like some people are like, oh, we don't know how to commit. And it's just like, those are just the wrong people who don't want to commit. And I think it's more of a just there has been a percentage of change on how many people are more willing to commit. But like, again, that's just, you know, if you're looking for commitment, those are the people you don't even want to worry about anyway. I don't think like someone who matches you would be an issue, I guess.
Do you think everyone wants commitment from someone?
No.
Really?
I don't. Again, like they're like, you know, especially if someone's more
let me reword it this way. Do you think most people
I think most people want companionship, so I think there is a certain level, like a certain percentage of like, yeah, they do want commitment, but not all.
John, how you weighing on this?
I'm gonna have to pretty much echo everybody else. You guys all took the great points. The only thing that I would add to it is that I think that as time goes on and we have more options, that's a huge contributing factor to the lack of willingness to commit, just because you've got everybody can do pretty much anything they want at this point. So you've got people who, I want to go move across the country, but the person that they're with, their family is, you know, in the place they're at now. So there's so many things going on in everybody's lives because technology has opened up our lives so much that human beings want to know everything. That's part of why we've advanced so fast technologically anyway. So you see all these options and you want to explore and you want to find out, and it's hard to balance that and the ability to do everything with, you know, committing to a person or thing.
So now I'm going to open it up to the whole panel. Isn't the whole point of commitment that it's kind of you want to push past the worst and build a life with this person?
Well, that's like dedication, but
I think it's partially too the desire for stability. You know what I mean? Like, the world's kind of weird and crazy, and a lot of things happen that we don't like or understand. And it's nice to know that you have somebody you can count on to help you through the struggles of life.
I do also think that commitment means different things for different people.
Yeah.
So that it's kind of hard to give that generalization.
So what's a general one that you think most people would fall into? Because I think there are general categories that people can actually fall into. So what do you think would be general things? Like you'd want someone that's obviously loyal, right? Everyone could say that.
Yeah.
Supportive, obviously.
Understanding. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
The break is when people decide to no longer be committed to a situation because they tap out. This is too much.
But let's look at something like divorce rates. Drastically higher than previous years. Yes, you can say, you know, people had to be together to survive a little bit more, but now that we've gained a lot more abundance, we have a lot more things that we can do now. We have a lot of different options now between both men and women. There's just we aren't committing to each other anymore. And there's a lot less people getting married, a lot less people actually building a happy life together. We have a lot more separate individuals living their individual lives.
Yeah. I don't believe we're making each other commit. I believe a lot of people are just like settling or just getting with someone to have companionship, like you said, more so than actually looking to see, is this the right person for the type of, you know, for the lifestyle that I want to live.
What do you mean
I
by
don't
that?
think so.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah.
Was that
No,
John
I
or
was,
Elmer?
no,
Oh.
that was me.
Oh,
That was Elmer. Spanish
Elmer.
Lotus.
Oh.
I think that you decide to commit not because you settle, but because you make a decision. You make a decision that you want to do, and it depends on like what you think is better, but you want to do better for your life, and part of that is having that trait in you, that the trait to commit to to commit to one person.
You think that's a
And
trait?
But
I
what if
think
it's
I think it's a skill that you have to learn.
what if it's the person that you don't necessarily like more than another person? It's like, but
The problem is
this person is,
you're
yeah,
always gonna find that. You're always gonna
yeah.
have another person that you like more, and then another person that you like less. It's that's the whole point of commitment. Is like, okay, even if I find someone that I find more attractive, or someone that I have a better conversations with, like I told myself that I was gonna commit to this person, and you do it because you love them and they are attractive to you. Like you try to get as close to that as possible, to everything that hits, and then you just gotta say,
So you settle.
this is it.
So what if they're a better fit?
That's
Kristen.
that's like the word, the settle. I don't.
People hate that
People
word.
don't
It's
like
a
the
weird.
word, but
It's a weird definition because
everything's a compromise, though. You know, they're not going to be as pretty as you wanted them to be.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
not going
that's
to like the
true.
hobbies that you like. But when
Right.
you find generally what you
80%.
want in a partner,
But like then settling isn't a bad thing to me, because
No,
you
it's
settle
not.
you settle on everything in your life. You settle
Exactly.
you settle on your job. You settle
Because
on
I
your
mean,
house.
when I was thinking of this question, I'm realizing like people aren't moving on to the next phase of life. We're not having families. If people actually want to have families, they're not really having families anymore because they're kind of looking for that next best thing every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
it's hard to, from what Elmo was saying, it's deciding like, okay, you know, I'm done looking for the next best deal. There's always going to be a next best deal. You know, stores always have a next best. I mean, you buy an iPhone now, 3 months later, there's going to be a next version that's going to be better than yours somehow. Somehow, they're going to add a new emoji or take away an emoji. Like,
But
it
Clem,
doesn't, you know,
but Clem, it's not even that. It's that you think that there is a next best deal.
yeah, that's true.
The best deal might be, and that's why I don't consider it settling, John. The best deal might be what you have already, and going deeper into the commitment, going deeper into the relationship, going deeper into the metaphysical of it, might actually get you to the best possible outcome in your life. But you go, damn, there's a girl over there with some big ass titties. I need to go talk to her, and then
That's it.
it totally breaks off. It totally breaks off everything that you work for, everything that you like. You're trying to get to a point. At least that's how I've like experienced it with my girlfriend. You know, like I'm always like tempted, and I'm always like thinking about what else there is. But the closer me and her get, the better my life has been, just by feeling. Just it feels better. The world is better because we're striving for something together.
Together, exactly.
You have a partner.
And I think, and that's when I say committing, that's really a lot more of what I see the understanding as. You're committing to that one person, they're committing to you, and you guys are both working towards that common goal together, which I don't think happens anymore, because a lot of people in this generation, we want to say, okay, well, if I don't get a lot of things that I want from this person, then, you know, kick them to the curb, because, you know, I can get the next best deal.
And the people who are willing to commit come up against the other people who are looking for the next best deal as well. So it's kind of a two sides, you know?
Yeah.
So do you think we actually properly, you know, that's later on. That's later on. That's still another question. I try to set it up properly.
No,
okay.
I don't. I don't, Clement.
No,
What do you mean?
disagree.
I don't think so.
Explain.
The question that you didn't ask, my answer is no.
Yeah.
Okay, say it.
No, I don't think men and women know what the opposite sex wants from each other in a relationship. Like when I started dating, I had absolutely no idea what was expected of me.
All right, you know what? Hold on, wait. Before you keep going, let's just switch it to the next question because I really want to talk about that one.
Yeah, John, damn.
Sorry,
you
bro.
forced my hand, John.
Well,
right?
you started to ask it.
John, shut the fuck up, bro.
I'm sorry.
We got an hour to fill.
All right. So, are men and women given the template on how to date each other? Do we know what each other actually want? John, lead the charge.
No. When I started dating, I had no idea what the hell I was doing, and I was raised primarily by women. And they told me all the things that I was supposed to do, and all the things were wrong.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Horribly wrong.
Women cannot date women.
Well,
women have no idea how to get. Women have no idea. Women, what? I see your face. Women have no idea how to give advice to guys on how to date women.
Women tell you what they want.
Clem, I've seen women date women.
You.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay. That's why I just rephrased it. All right. All right, jerk.
I knew what you meant. And no, it's just women have different perceptions of how they expect a relationship to go, and they personalize all their advice. So everybody does, because it's from their own perspective. But, you know, when you've got a family member telling you, this is how you should treat women, and then another family member telling you, this is how you should treat women, and then you talk to a friend of yours at school and she says, no, this is how you treat women. And you're like, but then you ask a guy and they're like, this is how you treat women. And you ask every guy and 90% of them will agree.
You know what? We got a guy saying this, okay? Boom.
I think honestly, everyone's thinking about it wrong. I don't think there's a template to date anyone. Everyone's different. Everyone has different needs. And so when it comes to men or women, I think having a template on how to date them or treat them is wrong. You got to communicate what you want. Like,
yes, I just think that women consistently, in my experience, have given me the worst advice in situations where I requested it.
Hold on.
That doesn't mean it's always.
One second, John. We got someone else that actually wanted to join the panel.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, so lame.
That was interesting.
You waited there for that. Okay,
that was good.
That's cool.
That was good advice, cool. Mike. Thank you.
Well, anyway, sorry that threw us off. John, what were you saying?
I've completed my argument and I'm good.
No,
Nique, let's continue. Nique?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I believe that it starts with the female would be at home. You get all these Disney movies, and you know you have Prince Charming in every one of them, and he's saving the day, and he's this perfect guy. And then it's the ultimate setup because then you train your kids to search for this guy that's just not out there, you know, and you look past who he actually is for who you want him to be. And so I think it's a struggle there once you become of age and then you decide who you are and who you want to be in life, right? And you know, and then you're just out here in this big world with all these different people with all these different personalities. And, you know, that's just a hard world to navigate, you know? And so I really feel like that's why we give as women the wrong advice, and it's just because we live in fairy tale or la la land, you know, because of how we've been set up from, you know, a young age.
Okay, so it's a lot more what you've seen and never really told then.
Right.
Okay. Kristen.
I mean, I guess I kind of said a little bit before, like, I don't think there's a template like for every man or woman. I do agree with Nique on the, you know, women do have a fairy tale issue type of thing. You know, most women have this dream idea what their wedding is going to look like when they're 5 years old. And so like that, I think that is the thing. But I also think, like, no offense to men, that they also get this idea that women are just going to take care of them and everything is going to be like easy to a certain extent. Like I feel like
I
men,
gotta push back on that.
I feel like men take women for granted for like that it's just going to be easy and like, oh, she's got this, she's going to take care of this. Where like again, I think the communication is needed.
So I don't know. You guys can obviously chime in if you want, but I think a lot more men are told treat women with kid gloves, essentially. Give her whatever she wants, say to her whatever she wants, be extremely nice, be overly polite. You have to put everything that you want on the side for her every single time. That's pretty much how we're raised as guys.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm telling you, this is the guy's point of view.
Yeah,
and that's why I said, were we ever given a template on how to date each other? Because for guys, obviously, I mean, you as women, you have those guys orbiting you, and you hate those guys, or not even hate those guys, but you just don't date those guys because it's kind of like you're a yes man.
I feel like when men do that though, then they have resentment. Like, oh, I'm gonna do whatever she says, do whatever she wants, and then like 2 years into the relationship, he ends up like stopping everything, and there's that resentment there, and then there is that no communication. So I do agree, like to a certain extent, men will do that, and that's how they start off, but it doesn't continue.
Right.
Because that's not what they want to be doing. He has to be honest about what he wants to do, what he wants to provide to that relationship, rather than doing that template that he was given. And because 2 years into the relationship, there's that resentment there that like it just falls apart.
That's the problem though, because we've literally exactly what Clement said is what I was taught from day one.
Most guys.
That's the problem, is that there's no realistic expectation set up. It's just, if you're just a perfect gentleman and the nicest guy ever, and you do everything that she ever wants, everything will work out. And that's not what happens. And you see that as the relationship goes on, which is what builds the resentment.
Yeah. And typically
have you guys actually tried to do that? Because I don't see people start.
Have you ever heard of the word? Obviously, you've been on the internet. You heard simp? Simps?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what a simp is.
It's
like one of those, like it's one of those guys that literally puts everything, all their wants and needs to the side for everything that a woman wants, just to be in her presence and just be next to her. And yes, a lot of guys actually do start out that way. Like it's actually probably worse for guys that come from like a good home, a good loving home, because that's how they are raised. It's kind of like, that's how they're raised. Like, just really, honestly. Kristen, I see you wincing over there.
I mean, like, you're putting a woman on a pedestal, which that's the point. In a relationship, it needs to be equal, or else there's a huge problem.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the point. That's the whole point, is that we've been told as men growing up that that's what needs to happen. And I mean, where do you think like perfect wife, perfect life comes from? Or happy wife, happy life. There we go. I'm
down with simpism if it works. If it works.
Look,
if the partner
putting all of what you want to the side for someone else.
Not putting it to the side, but
that's what simp is.
But investing in the person and wanting them to do well in life and encouraging them and help building them up. And if they return that, there's reciprocity there, then simping is okay, but there has to be reciprocity.
Yeah.
No, what the situation Clement was outlining earlier was literally bend over backwards to do whatever she wants. That's how you should be all the time, forever. And that's the problem.
But simps don't do that. Come on, nobody does that.
But the whole thing is, okay, so essentially a simp eventually kind of, like Kristen says, they stop doing that, and which is because they've eventually realized, I cannot sustain this.
They get
my needs are not getting fulfilled.
They are.
It's not at all. But again, that's how you're raised to be. Like the Disney fairy tale that you guys are talking about, that's the opposite version for what guys get. That's a Disney fairy tale for guys. It's like, be this perfect gentleman.
But
and I just want to point out though, like, in psychology, that's straight up codependency. That's literally putting someone on a pedestal, putting all you're not important anymore. That main person is important. That's straight up codependency. That is toxic behavior, and that's unhealthy.
But I don't see simps. Like I feel like I know some simps personally that I would categorize as that. But maybe we have two different definitions, because these are people that work really hard, have great careers, work really hard, but they take care of their wives like 100%. They're like a doll to them or something. They dress them up and, take them out to dinner, wear them on their arm or whatever. And then they, go out into the world and, she takes care of the house. They go out in the world and bring home the bacon or whatever, hunt and gather. And, and it works. And I mean, and these people are in real relationships, but.
That sounds like an Anton.
It sounds like an Anton Daniels. It's another guy that was on another live stream. My guy's firing shots.
Yeah.
Wow.
Clem, I think that the process is. I think the template has always the template's always been there, but and men and women, I think we get equal bad templates from our dumb parents and our dumb friends. But the template,
dumb society,
but the template has always been there. In that you always tell the truth. Like that's the template that you go with your life. That's a template for life. Just always tell the truth. And what you want is for a girl from a guy is for him to want to do those things, and then vice versa. So I think that the template has been like muddied. Like, hey, ladies, this is what you should want in a man, and men, this is what you should want in a woman. And it's like they mean well, but you end up doing things that you don't want to do because you think that that's what you should do, instead of being honest with yourself and be like, hey, listen, I'm not going to do that. That's kind of stupid. Or I'm not going to do this for you, but I am going to do this, and I'm going to want to do that. And women are going to appreciate that more when you do things happily, or you think you do things willingly.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. A relationship is compromised. So there's going to be things that you don't want to do in a relationship that you can't throw a hissy fit. You can't be all, just, it sucks. But you're doing this thing because your significant other cares about it, and you go do it, and you try and have the best time you can. The problem is when that's all you do.
Yeah.
Right. But then you should throw a hissy fit then.
Yeah, well, if that's all you do, yeah.
You're like,
I have to say, I don't
want to throw out the trash, all right? And then next thing someone asks you.
Yeah, I don't believe in making your significant other do anything they don't want to do. Like, say for instance, like these family gatherings that on a Saturday, if you're trying to watch the game or something, or you want to hang out with your friends, I feel like sometimes as a woman, I'll put my own self, in this situation, but I'm not going to drag my husband out to some stupid gathering. I'd rather him do what makes him happy, especially when you work all the time and you just want to, you don't want to go put on in front of someone's family. But I feel like a lot of these relationships out here now are a form of torture, because it's making people do things that they do not want to do, and it's validating the relationship, right? Because it's like now I
think that's also why. Sorry to cut you off. I think that's why there's a lot more of like a divorce, because people hop into relationships like that and look at like, okay, marriage is just the next step that we have to do.
Yep.
It's not so much like we want to do this. It's kind of like, okay, we have to do this, and there's just this perpetual keep doing things that you don't want to do for a long period of time. And then eventually it's like, okay, you know what? I can't stand this anymore. I can't do this. I can't be this person that you want me to be.
Divorce is not at an all-time high anymore. We are slowly going down, right?
Going backwards. Yeah. Cause I think people are starting to realize.
There's no marriage for the divorce.
Yeah, there's no need to get married anymore.
Yeah, but the people who are still getting divorced are the older, like 40s, 50s, and stuff like that. The people our age who are getting married, there's less divorce. Like,
you gotta wait till they're 40 or 50.
Might be a good point.
Let's see what.
Or it may be because they want
guy
to
dropping
get married.
bombs.
I feel like if you get married in this era here, you mean it.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
because you
mean,
don't have to. You don't have to. There's great careers out there. There's all kinds of opportunity.
No more social stigmas.
Do you guys think most people want to get married?
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
I don't know why, but
I mean,
they do.
Listen.
I think
me personally,
we're naturally a monogamous species.
Oh no! Don't say that.
I don't know about that, man.
I just wanted to bring that up.
No, I just had a debate last week about that. No,
I don't know about naturally monogamous. No, definitely not. Definitely not. But I do think that most people like want to actually get married. I think most people want to find that not find that person, but want to have someone there with them that they could share. Like, think about it, in any kind of relationships, the happiest part wasn't the first date where you had the butterflies. The happiest times were where you guys, like, on a Sunday, you guys are chilling on the couch, like watching Netflix or something. Nothing crazy. It's like the small, like, good times that you guys share together. Those were the best times.
Is that like something? Is that something instilled by society?
No, I think when at a certain point in a relationship where people kind of let their guard down around each other and just be themselves, be their natural selves, and become comfortable around each other, that's what everyone really wants naturally from the opposite sex or from whichever gender they prefer.
Yeah. Then how is monogamy not natural?
Because guys are just meant to procreate.
I would say that monogamy is...
But you end up staying with one.
Yes, you end up loving one and wanting that one person to
not all
spend
people.
your future with.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean,
not all people, but yes, but the people that actually want to have a marriage and want to kind of build with someone. Yeah, that's the idea. I'm not saying guys are just gonna go out there and cheat. I'm not saying people are just gonna go out there and cheat, because just like you said, the temptation doesn't stop. You willingly choose something else over that.
I think saying that like humans in general are naturally monogamous is definitely wrong. Like on an animalistic level, we were not like made that way, but we grew, our brains grew, and we made that conscious choice to be monogamous. And so like a lot of people, yes, want to be monogamous, but I don't think it is a natural thing for humans to just say humans were made to be monogamous.
I think people are generally better when they're monogamous. That I would definitely agree with. People are better when they're in a monogamous relationship.
How better?
In a loving, caring, monogamous relationship.
Yeah.
Because they have something to strive for.
Why can't they be better if they have multiple
by themselves?
Why can't
they be better?
I'm saying that.
In what way are you saying better?
Yeah, I this is why I really brought you on here, because I really liked your point when you made this, because it really shifted my mind. But Nique, go ahead. Explain your point on that.
I agree with you, John, but why?
Hold on. Let Nique.
Let me go. I thought you were talking to John.
No,
okay.
Nique.
Well, just to sum it up, because I just believe that from a standpoint of being financially stable, from having families, I believe that multiple people could actually be best at being, in marriages and in committed situationships, if you will, because you all are doing that commitment there. You all are committed to building. But I guess my point of view is that people that are involved in polygamy have the better life, because they end up with more children. They end up with more money, because you got to think, if you have everyone in one household under one roof working, everyone has a job. You have 5 people, 1 husband, 4 wives. Everyone makes, I'll just say for Texas, everyone makes $100,000 a year. So that's $500,000 coming under one roof, right? So you don't have all these different mortgages to pay, like utility bills to pay, if you will.
Who handles the money?
Whoever we choose to handle the money, right? That's just it's organization there.
Is it equal guys, equal girls?
It's whoever you decide, whatever you want your family structure to look like. It would be up to you, but I think that that's the best situation. I feel like this monogamy thing has made it taboo because we're forced to be monogamous. We're forced to say, oh, you just need one person, and then you end up broke, right?
And I really like the point that you made. I really like that point, because when I saw early on that different panel, which I never really looked at, it's a lot of us, what holds us back from building a family lifestyle like that is jealousy.
Right.
It's not so much anything beyond like, oh, I don't want to see you with that other person.
Right.
Yeah.
Versus
because
like,
we're
hey, we can all.
Is that society or natural?
No, we're forced to believe that way. You're taught that. The law is that you can only marry one person, right?
Is that really?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
What about the jealousy? Like, are you jealous because of that?
The jealousy comes in more so. I believe
instinctual from jealousy.
I believe it comes more so with the women, because we wanted that Prince Charming all to ourselves, and I'm the lucky girl that got the guy, and you girls suck. You know,
women
behind
are
me.
also taught to be more competitive with each other by society too. So I think that also plays a part in it.
Women are fiercely competitive.
Men are taught to be physically competitive with each other. I think that's like 10 times more.
Well, which they're kind of dumbing down now. So I mean, that's kind of going away as well.
Yeah.
Men are encouraged to wear dresses, bro.
And like I feel like to kind of
I gotta compete with that.
I would like to kind of add to like Nique's point, like for when it comes to polygamy, like on a psychology basis too, you're able to get like that, like you know, sometimes like just like in like you can get it from friendships and stuff like that, but like for polygamous relationships, you're able to get different things from different partners, and that you know, I see that talked about a lot too, because like, you know, you may have that one who's more comforting, or like, you know, like you're able to like receive different like feedback and what you need. You like, you know, some people can find it in one partner and some people find it in multiple partners. And then also when it comes to children, I think people forget on how it used to be a community raising the children and not just
raise the kid.
And because I think like, you know, electronics and social media, that kind of like has happened less, but I feel like, you know, I can see like with polygamous relationships, it ends up being a community again. You get that back in a certain sense too. So,
yeah, I watched a video. I'm not sure how long ago, but it was a lady talking about polygamy and how she grew up in a polygamous like house where the dad had multiple wives, and she understood the dynamic of it. And when she got into a good polygamous relationship, like literally the women were helping each other out. Hey, this is what the man likes. Like he likes a little bit clearer skin. This is what I use to help my skin out. You know, try this and see if it works for you. Like he likes this kind of dress on you. He likes these kinds of heels. And they were really just kind of helping to make everyone as happy as possible. So if you have like four people in a house.
For one guy.
For one, I mean, but yeah, I mean, because there's more women than there are men.
But even outside of that, like when you have children, or for even like cleaning up, for instance, like you don't want to have to clean an entire house as the woman, as the mom, every day by yourself. You're doing laundry, you're washing dishes, you're spent, especially if you're working outside of the home. And then you have this hour commute home with this traffic. Then you have to get out of your car, and then you have to come inside the house and then turn, you know, you're back on the clock at that point. Right.
Yeah.
But if you have other people there and you all are building so that, okay, we're building, maybe I want to open a laundromat somewhere, or, you know, car wash or hair salon. And we're thinking we're able to sustain job or work that's not so demanding of our time.
What if one of them is lazy and doesn't want to pull in the same amount of work as you do, but they still want the same amount of attention from the guy?
Then as a family, you decide what to do with that person. Some people like lazy people around. They say, you know what, well, we can leave the kids there because I know that lazy here is going to be laid up all day.
So in a polygamous group of 5, 4 people agree to keep that person. They will all have the same. That's the problem with polygamy to me, is that no one has the same mind. No one has the same.
But that's where you have communication.
Communication, correct. Yeah, exactly.
They have the same understanding. They have the same goal.
The communication skews with the more people.
Why?
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the whole point of.
Because it's 5 different minds, 5 different opinions, 5 different personalities, as opposed to you just arguing with your significant other, just one, and then you both coming to an understanding. Now you have to come to an understanding with 5 different people.
So my assumption is that everyone wants to make this work
from each other.
Everyone wants to make this work.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone is going to try to come to a common goal that this works for everyone. Like, so I'm assuming in polygamy, like, there's not going to be a time where someone's really going to be battling to try to make their point. They're really going to try their hardest to try to see someone else's side, because it's like, listen, we're all working together. We're all working well together. Why am I going to try to jeopardize this because I don't like this, how this person puts on their socks? Like,
right. But Clem, like, you like that. It's hard to compromise with just one person. You know what I'm saying?
But 5 people in an argument don't have the same. They don't have 5 different arguments there. It's probably 3-2. You know, there's a ratio there. So I don't believe that. I guess the picture that you see is everyone has something different to say about one situation, and I feel like it may not be that deep. It may be 3 against 2, or you know, something like that. But normally in those kind of situations, those people don't really. The argument is between whoever the argument is between. You don't really pull everybody in. It's not like, oh, we're gonna eat, you know, sausage today, and no, we want pork chops, or you know, like. There's not a good argument that all 5 of you could get into just because you're, you know, under the same roof, because you're all doing different things. You know, you're all living in different places. So I'm not really sure.
I also feel like, you know, you also have those mediators, because like sometimes, you know, couples end up having to go to couples counseling because they need that mediator there. And like, then you already have one there, like, who maybe understands a little, both sides a little bit more, can like, if there's a disconnect. And then also like, I'm not like, I don't think Nique is saying polygamy is for everyone, but like, if you feel like it's hard enough to come to a, and I don't want to speak for you. I'm sorry if you are saying that. Then my bad.
I'm not. You're right.
And if it's hard for you to come to like, you know, agreements with your significant other, I understand that. But and then maybe it's not for you. But like I think saying like, oh, you know, it's impossible to do that with 5 people is also, you know,
it's not impossible.
Okay. The
other thing is that
is it easier?
The fallout is more likely, I would think, because you have more people of differing opinions. So people feel, I would think, freer to leave the relationship because that core relationship is still intact. So if it comes to a point where I don't think I can get past this, I need to move on, they're more likely to do that because the relationship is still intact and they don't feel like they're destroying what the other people have. Does that make sense? Especially because you do see a lot in polygamous relationships that, you know, well, me and my girlfriend dated this other girl for 3 years and then she left, and now this guy moved in and now we're with him. You see that a lot.
But it happens in monogamy all the time.
No, it does. Like, it's just less.
So what John means is what you're seeing in polygamous relationship is a monogamous relationship with 3 other girlfriends. That's what you're seeing. There's always like someone that's gonna get more of the attention than everybody else. I don't
think about a proper commit, like polygamous relationship. Everything is actually real. Honestly, from what I've seen or what I've watched and listened to, everything is planned out. Everything is a lot more scheduled out. Like, you as the guy, I mean, it is a kind of a lot of work on you as well. Because you got 4 different women. If that's the case, you got 4 different women that you have to show equal amount of time to.
And that seems to be the only.
But like someone like me, like I don't require time though, so that's not a thing for me. Like,
but it
depends on what the person needs in their relationship. You can't, like, if I was with 4 other wives or whatever, I wouldn't care. I would be glad. I'm a loner. Like, I like to be alone. I like to listen to my music. I like to, you know, read the books that I want to read, watch the shows I want to watch. And so I'm not having to be stuck here, like watching Superman, because, you know, I'd much rather go read Harry Potter, you know.
Like, hold on. CJ dropped this. He said, polygamy is a rich man's game. Most people can't handle it. What do you guys think of that?
No.
I would agree that most people can't handle it.
It depends on, like, everyone's different. Like, it depends on the family. Like some people don't need money; they just need love, and they want to love each other. But I do think to make it work, I don't. Well, no. I just feel like everyone needs to come and go, and I think that the end game of polygamy is to make sure that you have some kind of wealth, because we're dying and we're not leaving anything for our kids, but maybe like, you know, a life insurance policy that you have to wipe out my debt with, you know, and then you're left over with whatever. But if I have all these businesses going at one time and I'm training my children to run these businesses, then I'm creating that generational wealth there, which is kind of died out now. You know, everyone's kind of just doing their own thing and having their 2.5 kids, you know, and
that's a lot. If at this point in time, that'd be a lot.
That is, but it's broke down the family structure there to where we are like broke as a people. We are broke just because you're making like 60, 70 grand a year. That is broke. To be honest with you, that's broke. You cannot sustain life that way.
What if all 5 people had jobs? That'd be good.
Well, that's the whole point.
That's the whole point.
That's the whole argument for it.
You bring in, you stack, you save money, and then you go create your own jobs. You know, that way you're not as stressed of a person. That way I'm not the wife coming home every day to my husband and my kid exhausted from work. They do my annual review telling me I don't do a great enough job and I'm getting 2 cents, you know, as a raise for the year. And then I got to come home, but I got to keep my face together because I got to feed my kids and, you know, do homework. And then I got to do laundry. And then I got to keep myself together for my man at the end of the night. So there's this like this cross that people have to bear trying to be monogamous, because we've been taught that this is how you should be. And the only issue I have, because I don't have a problem with monogamy. I'm in a monogamous marriage right now, you know, so I don't have a problem with it, but I do understand. I don't think we should make it as taboo for other people who want to create wealth for their children. And they're just tired of, you know, coming into broke situations, being born into them and then dying in them.
Can I ask you a question?
I think that's the point that a lot of people miss, because we're looking at like man with woman versus, hey, like we're putting our money together. It's not about us. It's not about who sleeps with who. It's about pulling our resources together so we can make it to the next generation.
Yeah.
John, was that you?
I wanted to ask Nique a question.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you're not against adding someone else. How would, if you and your husband now, is your husband or your wife?
Husband.
If you and your husband now were to bring someone else in, how would that proceed? How would you go about doing that if that's what you wanted?
They just come in. We decide.
Do you tell your husband about this person, or can he tell you?
It could go either way. Or you mean me personally? I don't know. Like,
yeah, that's also a thing that the other person has to exist. It's different. Like communication has to be through all 3 people. I feel like you know, like it's kind of hard to create this hypothetical that, you know, I don't know. Just
60, 70K isn't broke. Yeah, it's broke. It's broke to me.
Damn.
Yeah. If you're taking care of 8 people, then yes.
No, if you're taking care of 2 people, that's broke.
All right, hold on. We're getting away from the topic. If anyone watching, welcome to CKQ Podcast. Our next topic is this video that I actually pulled up, and I actually want to show you guys because I think it pertains to the next topic. So if you guys could just mute your mics for a little bit. All right. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Because
do you feel like you was trained to
right? So this is what I'm gonna say on this, and I don't know if I'm gonna answer the question fully. I am Spanish, so I was raised seeing my mother have the food on the table for my father, serve him his food, make sure the house was clean, make sure that me and my sister were taken care of. He really didn't have any parts in that because he was working sometimes 2 or 3 jobs just to provide. Damn. Right. So me growing up, I used to see my mother doing that, but I didn't like it. So I remember like being a teenager, like when I get a husband, he's going to do everything for himself. Like I'm not gonna serve him his food. I'll cook if I want to. Like I had that attitude until I had a conversation with my mother, and she kind of like broke it down to me, and she was just like, your father's a good man. Like he made her stay home to just focus on us. And he had the 2 or 3 jobs. When he would get paid, oh my God, Jesus. When he would get paid, he would give my mother the majority of his money, and he'll only keep enough money to take the train to work. So it was just like, she was like, for a man like that, I'm gonna cook for him. I'm gonna make sure that I take care of him, and he has his food waiting for him, and anything else he needs from me, I'm going to provide that because he's a good man and he's a good father and a great husband.
Your mom is a real one.
Yeah, so she was like, he never disrespected me. He never left us for days. Like, even if we got into an argument, never called me out my name. Wouldn't leave the house for days at a time if he was angry. He might go for a walk and come right back. So she's like,
this is the least I can do.
Exactly. She's like, that's the least you can do. If you're in a marriage, that's a partnership. And when she said that, that kind of like struck me. And I'm like, wow, I never saw it that way, honestly. Because it's like, it's true. If you do have a man who's good to you and he does go out and provide, even if I'm work, because my mother works now. But she's like, even though I work now, I get home before your father. There's no excuse for me not to have something waiting for him when he gets home. Like, so in that respect, I get it. But emotionally, I don't think I was taught how to treat a man. Or I don't think I understood that men have emotions just as much as women have emotions. Like, you guys have feelings. You guys also get hurt by the things that we say to you. It's not only you have to watch how you speak to me. Your delivery has to be right when you speak to me. No, my delivery also has to be right when I approach you.
Okay. You can unmute. So yeah, that pretty much the video that helped me come up with this question. And what did you guys think of that?
I like
what she said.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I took out of that was the fact that they learned how to treat each other. His mom and and her mom and her father.
But what do you think about the idea that she watched it, but still wanted to go up against it until she finally spoke to her mom, or her mom had to sit her down and explain, hey, this is why I do this, because this is the importance of this man, and this is the importance of what he does. And it's not so much I'm just doing this because I have to, but because I truly want to.
Yeah. I think when you're a kid, you don't understand the process that much. I think when you're a kid, you see, especially what Nique and Kristen were saying, you see Cinderella, and then you go, well, that's how they're supposed to act. And then you see your dad act something different, and you're like, wait, he's not supposed to act like that. Let me find someone. Like, you start rebelling against your parents or their whole structure of relationships, because you get told or you get shown that their way is wrong, or their way is there's something wrong with it. They're not doing it right. So I think when you get older, you go, it's not as clear cut. It's
a lot of nuances.
There's a lot of nuances. There's a lot of gray areas, and then she finally talked to her mom when she got older.
Yeah, I guess that was the whole point of that, was to lead us to the next question. Is we want everything or nothing without effort or understanding.
That's just being spoiled.
Yeah.
Well, that's because it sounded like she was saying, like, okay, well, I can't give my man everything that my mom gave my dad. Like, he's gonna have to step up. Whereas she didn't see it as in, I'm doing this for him so that he could be doing this for us.
Yeah. I think that's just the curse of being a human being. You know what I'm saying? You always want to get something with the minimal amount of effort. And you always think you know something when you don't fully understand it. That's just like, especially us being like young kids, we're always like, yeah, I got this. I know what the fuck I'm doing. And
yeah.
And then your significant other just slaps you in the back of the head.
Kristen, what do you think?
I think the idea of love is kind of lied to us in the beginning of our life, and not just women but also men too. Like we have this whole idea of like puppy love and your first love and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, everything should just be easy, like, or else that's not real love or whatever. And I feel like that is kind of sold to us for a little bit until we get older. And I know there was a conversation with my mother too, like, that it was like, it's, you don't see like behind closed doors sometimes, like it's not easy, like these are conversations, and like the give and take that you have, whether it is cooking or even having the man one time like cook like for her, like is like the appreciation for all that she does, like. So I think it's we are kind of sold this lie to a certain extent that love should be easy, and I think now I know that is definitely not the case.
As we've gotten older and made a lot of mistakes,
I don't think it's a lie though. I think that love is so complicated, it's so confusing, and it's so different with every person that we try to create stories and we try to like tell our kids what love is, and we don't even know. Like we don't know now, and we're gonna tell our kids what the hell it is, and we're just like, watch Cinderella, please. Just leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? Just go fucking watch Cinderella and don't bring it up to me again. And then like the process of like finding out, because everything is what you have right now. That's everything. So the problem is that we don't want everything. The problem is we have everything, but we don't want it. We don't want everything. That's not the thing. We want something. I don't even know how to say it.
I believe in you. Pull it up. I'll give you some time, all right? There we go. You got a little time.
Yeah. We want, like, you almost want the struggle. You almost want the, like, that sounded romantic to me, what her parents go through. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's working, he comes back, he gives her most of the money, he goes back to the train, and she's cooking.
Honestly, that's a dream. I hear that, I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
that's a simp. Right?
No, hell no.
That's not a simp.
That's a man doing everything he can to make that family afloat.
Well then I think that's different. Then.
Yeah,
I misunderstood the definition.
A simp is the same thing, except he's like that fucking bitch, and then he goes to the train all pissed and shit.
Yes,
and then he'll
smile in front of her face and give her flowers and he'll probably won't work a second.
No, he's
a simp is their job.
No.
They're lying. They're faking it.
A simp is also a guy who's not with that chick, but doing all those things. Not necessarily, but usually.
Yeah.
Is a guy who wants to be with that chick and does everything he possibly can to make her happy.
Yeah.
In the hopes that one day she will be with him.
Yeah.
Making himself miserable in the process.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden he's mad because of it.
Yeah. Because he eventually just kind of grows resentment because he's kind of like, she's a fucking bitch. And it's like, she never did anything to you, bro. Like, you did everything to yourself this whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did want to go back to, I can't remember your name, man. You are Spanish Lotus.
My name is John. No.
Okay.
It's Elmer.
Well, I think the reason that when, kids ask, what is love? And parents are like, go watch Cinderella.
Yeah.
Because that's the example of the highs. That's the visual representation of the highest feelings in a relationship. That's the peak. Whereas you don't get it's having responsibility pushed on you, forced on you, and taking that on willingly and accepting it as your own and allowing that to shape who you are is a wonderful thing, because it kind of transforms you into a better human being because you chose it.
So you're saying that instead of saying go watch Cinderella, go watch How I Met Your Mother, because that's more complicated.
I'm saying tell them go watch Cinderella.
10 seasons?
I'm saying tell them go watch Cinderella, but first mow the lawn.
Okay, so
because it shows them that work is rewarded if done properly.
So John, I don't know, because that's I guess that's where it gets screwed up for kids, because they watch that and think that's just the whole span.
Versus where I think
that's just the beginning.
Yeah.
That's just that Cinderella story is just the beginning of
But
that
when they
first
end
date,
it, they
the
say they
butterflies.
live happily
Happily ever after. Yeah. I mean,
but you don't see it.
You don't see that. You don't see them with the
see
kids.
The honeymoon. Yeah, you just see them in that honeymoon phase, and then like they end at like when they
riding off in the sunset.
I think though the Go Watch Cinderella is a perfect example of something I always say, which is a great good intentions but horrible follow through. You know.
Yeah.
And I think that you're just trying because you want to teach your children that love should be happy, should be great, and we want you to experience these awesome feelings and have a happily ever after kind of situation in your life. But
well, it should still be stated that when kids ask you what love is, that loving someone is
trauma.
It's the hardest thing that you can possibly do in your life.
Horrible.
Yes.
Loving someone is consciously deciding to do the hardest thing you will ever do.
Yeah.
But that's why I guess Elmer and I were both saying that, like, listening to what that guy is going through and what the woman is doing for him, that's like the purest essence of love right there. It's like, listen, we're both struggling with what we're doing, but we're doing it because we want the best for each other. And it's like, listen, I'm going to sacrifice in this way and I'm going to sacrifice in this way. And we can build together on that. Even if we're making, a combined income of $60K, that's both of us putting our efforts together for a common goal, for a bigger dream in the end.
You put the unit over the self. That's
exactly
what you do.
Exactly. That's commitment. That's commitment.
Yeah.
And I think we've kind of lost that.
Yeah.
I think we've thought too much about our we've been taught that, you can do everything. And even for guys and girls, honestly, you can do everything. You can have the world. And like Kevin Samuels always said, life is about choices and trade-offs. You can choose this, but that comes at the cost of this.
Right.
You can choose to go to school for the next 20 years, but know that it's going to be very hard to build that family unit, that loving family unit after that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I dropped out of college.
There you go. That's you got to tell your kids, man.
Drop out of college.
No, it depends. It depends what your priorities are.
Pregnant. That's it. You're good.
That's it. Golden.
Yeah, that's another rabbit hole there. Choosing career over love, and then you're 40 wanting this Prince Charming that is back in your childhood. So
I think it's definitely unfortunately for women, that is the harder choice. Guys, we have a much longer span of time to actually make it, just because we wake up much later than you guys, but we just have all that time to actually like, okay, for the next 10 years, let me put my life together a little bit. Whereas women, it's kind of like it has to get done at a certain time.
We got to have kids. We have to, yeah. I mean, you guys can have kids in your 60s. We can.
Yeah.
Or we can, but it's not like.
Yeah, but how ugly is that kid going to be, really? You ever seen like a 6-year-old man's kid?
Well, if her eggs are frozen, it's gonna look like.
I mean, that's not the ideal. That's not the ideal.
Yeah,
it's not. But you
seen frozen eggs?
I have friends who have frozen eggs right now, and they're waiting. They're going into their 40s, and they're waiting on that Prince Charming that was back there. Yeah,
I have.
Honestly, what would you tell those women right now? What are you gonna tell them to keep waiting?
No. I give raw truth. Like that man that you want doesn't want you. He wants the younger, prettier version of you that doesn't have frozen eggs, and so you chose to take a different route. So you need to take the men that are on the other side of that. Yeah. That are available to you and they actually want you.
Yeah. I'll say this. There's a lot of good men that want you.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll say that for like every woman out there is like that's into men. Like there's like 40 guys out there that are.
There's more than 40. They just don't meet all your criteria, and that's the problem.
Right, that's the thing, because they're looking for that the 6-pack. You got to be fit. You have to have 6 figures, 6-pack, 6 figures.
Yeah.
All of these things on this list. Yeah, and then you're just like, that kind of guy has options out the wazoo, and you're standing here, and especially if it's a younger one, right? Because they're more naive and they haven't seen the world as much as this person has. So there's some things there that you have to kind of battle. Which I mean, but you never know. They could probably get that guy too, because it's probably a guy out there waiting on someone like them as well. So I don't want to.
Yeah, but now let's think about it this way: the guy with all those options, do you really think he's waiting on any kind of woman?
No, he's busy.
He's
busy.
Yeah, hella busy.
Yeah,
you know.
So, but I do feel like social media plays a lot. Cause see, I'm kind of glad. I think the 80s babies has like, we were born at the perfect time because we were your, kind of like the Nintendo era, right when gaming systems and things came out, but we still realized what it was like, without it. We still
just before the blow up of like social media and the internet and all that.
And so now you have
we're looking at it from the outside, and the Zoomers are the kids inside.
Yeah, and so now you have Instagram with Kim K as the prototype of the perfect woman. So now you have all these women out here getting all these surgeries on their face, their bodies, their this, their that, and they're changing the way the woman, they're changing the idea of what a woman is and should be. So now we have this extra stigma on us because we have this extra competition. We're already competitive, and now we have to have.
But the crazy part is women do that for each. But women are doing that against each other. It's not like men are saying this is what I want. It's kind of like, oh, but
the men are liking it and chasing it, and so it's making us gravitate.
The simps are liking it.
But here's the thing: don't
simps. No, for sure, the simps.
That's the thing, though, and that's the struggle for every generation.
Here's the thing, Clem.
Things change.
Don't women look better now, though?
What do you mean?
Shouldn't we thank Kim K? Because now like everyone's got a big ass and big titties.
I mean, you ask those women, are they actually getting married?
Maureen O'Hara was not anything like Kim K, and
how many Instagram models, like those ones that are actually like morphing their bodies to look like all this stuff? They're single as all hell. But do you know what they have? A lot of fucking
babies.
Likes.
They got babies.
Or their baby mamas. Okay,
they're getting bust down. That's what's going down.
No, so they're bust downs. They're bust downs.
That's what they have, babies and likes.
I don't know. I think every generation has that issue, though. Like, we're seeing how kids are now, and we're just doing the thing that our parents did, crossing our arms and shaking our heads at what they're doing.
But back in the day, the hoe used to hide, right? Everyone knew the hoe was down the street and around the corner. And as she stayed there, did her thing. But now the hoe is like in your face.
The problem is
new wave feminism.
Yeah.
Oh, my man trying to get me demonetized. Let's go. Let's dive into it.
The problem with like the whole hiding though is you kill her and then nobody knows. Nobody finds out.
All right. You're about to get muted.
Right.
John, what were you saying before? Go ahead. Before we move on to the next topic.
No, I was just saying that every generation has that struggle where they see the next generation doing things that are just insane to them and shaking their heads, and then it becomes normalized. And the problem is that it's happening way more rapidly because so many different people and cultures across the world are able to exchange information now we're experiencing what would have been like 50 years worth of shift in one generation.
Is that
it's just going to get worse. It is.
Why is that?
Because we're advertising the worst. We're not advertising the best. You don't see happy marriages being advertised. You see like people beating the crap out of each other. You see people having a really bad divorce. You see, he cheated on me. You see, she cheated on me. You see only that.
You advertise happy marriage and you go, that's a lie created by society. Like you can't win. You say that monogamy is a lie. Like if they advertise marriage, you're just gonna say what everybody's been saying is that that's not real.
So here's the thing: when you advertise, it's not for us now. Our time, we're screwed. That's it. You advertise for the kids because they get to watch it and see what a happy pair is supposed to look like, and they actually grow up having that idea in their head. So advertisements aren't for adults because we can already think for ourselves. It's for the kids that don't need to be sitting there watching Disney and need to understand like you need to learn how to work with someone else, cooperate with someone else and make it to the end of life together.
Yeah. The problem is there's no church. So like there's no church to give them that, to back them up with that. So they're just gonna say what we're saying now, that marriage is a lie and monogamy is a lie, and like,
Who said
and there's
marriage or
nothing
monogamy was a lie?
No.
No
They're
one
saying-
said that.
They're saying
Said
that it's not.
polygamy
We said
is an
it.
Talk to
We
him.
said monogamy.
You're
is
saying
Talk to
that
him,
it's
Kristen.
natural.
Talk to him.
You're
Like,
saying
Ready
that
to fight, bro.
you're saying that
He's fighting you, bro.
Like we said that polygamy should be an option and it should be available. That monogamy is not the only choice. It's not, monogamy is not necessarily our default setting. And just like
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that happy marriages don't exist or happy monogamous marriages don't exist. It's just that's not the only choice. That's all that we're saying.
Yeah, I'm saying that. I'm saying that those
Stop.
two can't coexist together. It's an oxymoron.
Wait,
Like, you
Why?
those-
wait. Say
like,
that
you-
again. Hold on.
You
What?
can't. You can't exist in a society. Well, I don't know.
Did
I'm
we
just,
not agree that different people want different things and have different priorities? You are not going to be the same relationship as maybe John will have. Like,
right then,
that's
but
not-
then why advocate for the advertisement of marriage then? If you're saying that, then that isn't what we should be advertising for. Then.
You should-
All kinds of marriages.
Yeah.
Advocating for marriage ensures that the next generation has a stable upbringing and allows for a better outcome for them.
Or
Right,
advertise
but-
for a positive outlook on two people working together. Let's not even marriage, a positive outlook. Because
You just
can
said
we
it.
both
Two
can-
people or four people.
You said two
Alright.
people working together. So
a
what?
positive
what-
a positive outlook. That's what I'm saying. A
I'm
positive
saying-
outlook.
But Clement, does that mean two people?
It could be
It,
five.
it
Why-
could, it could, it
Could
could
it be
mean,
4 people?
It could be 4 people, but it
Why
could be
does the
it could be
number
4 people
matter?
working together. It could be 2 people working together.
Here,
But it cannot be one person just tackling life on his own, because that doesn't work. It does not work. You cannot be a lone wolf out there traveling in the woods expecting to somehow build everything by yourself. You can't.
I agree with that.
I mean, I look at it this way. Okay, I'm not gay. I don't care
What?
if other people are gay. That's none of my business.
What? Bro,
What do you
there's-
mean?
There's polygamists.
Yeah,
That's
but they
none of my
can be-
business.
yeah,
they can
they
do
can-
whatever they want. I
yeah.
don't care. There's
what
people
you said,
who
yeah.
like to do weird stuff. That's none of my business. I don't care.
talk to me like that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He's giving you those eyes, bro.
No, you know what I mean? It's just what other people do isn't really any of your business, as long as they're not hurting anybody or out there raping babies or
Yeah.
something. Like,
I'm
as long as
saying
they're not,
what
it's
are,
okay.
Yeah,
I'm
that-
saying,
that
what
one-
are
that
we
one
at-
left.
what are we advertising for? That's what
We're,
I want to know.
we're advertising for a better
advertisement?
outcome for the next generation,
So what does that mean?
regardless of its source. As long
What,
as
does that,
it's,
what do we do? What do we do, John?
we ensure that the future generation understands how
Physically,
to
tell me-
interact.
Tell me what we do. What are
Why
we
does there have
supposed
to
to
be
do?
one thing to do? Like, why
Because
can't
it's
it be
an
one-
advertisement.
I mean, listen, really.
It's an
Okay,
advertisement.
let's
It's
be
a
real. Let's be
30-second
real.
advertisement.
Elmer, if we're talking advertisements or we're talking positive media in front of you, this is something that I'm doing right now.
Right here. Yeah.
I'm sitting here trying to actually bring all of us together, try to actually formulate a better plan, better outcomes for the younger generation. So if anyone actually decides to sit here and watch this thoroughly through to the end, they could see that, okay, not everyone's sitting here trying to say, I want a high value man or women are trash. Like, there's actually a better outcome. There's actually people that want to see a better outcome.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't have this negative outlook towards men or women. I should just know that there's people out there and give them the benefit of the doubt. Sharpen my senses and actually look for who I want, as opposed to just go with what's on TV, the tall rapper who has 6-pack or the Insta baddie. That's what we're doing. That's what we're trying to change.
But I'm just trying to figure out, does that mean marriage between two people? That's what we're promoting?
I think
We're
I
promoting.
think we're promoting the different views that you
What are
can
we
possibly
promoting?
have.
You know what?
on it.
You know
Like,
what, Elmer?
You are currently promoting. You are promoting between two people a happy marriage. I'm saying they're like that is not the only way, and so like you can also have polygamy. It doesn't mean that you're wrong or I'm wrong. We're promoting different opinions and how it looks like
Better
for
outcomes.
different people and
Yes.
better outcomes.
We're promoting a better understanding of human relationships with the goal of a better future.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
But are we just saying stuff like that, or are we telling them what to do?
No,
Like,
we're
no.
opening.
Anyone what to do.
We're opening the
Do you think
floor
that would
to
be
new
better?
conversation.
Do you think that would be better if we told them what to do?
I feel like if I hear what John said, I'd throw up. Like, I don't know what that means. I
Here's
don't know.
what it
No,
means.
But do you
because you
think it's better to tell them
you
what to do?
monogamous people are the ones that tell people what to do.
I think
because you
it's
believe
better.
so strongly.
I think it's better to give an example.
Okay, here's an example. Do your best to tell the truth always. Be honest about your intentions, and try and be understanding because everybody else has a different experience than you.
My man's been reading his Jordan Peterson books. All right,
Jordan Peterson is the dude.
All right, I'll drop that for you then. I'll drop that for you. You get that. All right, guys. That was fun. Elmer, you're great. On to the next topic. Can you grow to love your partner? Kristen.
Well, I mean, yes, I believe so because like even when it comes to like arranged marriages and stuff like that, like you can learn to love someone, or I mean, and hopefully in a marriage in general, you continue to fall or have more love for someone as that connection gets deeper. I think personally for me, like there has to be some like I don't think you can just like for zero nothing there and then grow to love someone, like for me personally. But I think you can definitely like I said, arranged marriages exist, and you see that they do grow to love each other, and they have like lower divorce, like very low divorce rates and things like that. And you'll like if you like I've watched, I had to take a marriage and family class in in psychology, and you see that they have like this flow with each other over time because it wasn't just based on like emotion and lust and stuff like that. So you had to grow to love someone. So is it possible? Yes. Is it for everyone? Not necessarily.
That's a good answer. John?
That's what we do every day. Familiarity breeds affection. So you meet somebody on the street, you see him at the bus stop every day. Eventually you're going to start a conversation, and you're probably going to end up liking the person if they're a halfway decent person. So it's kind of what's the difference between meeting somebody and developing a relationship with them and your parents being like, you're with this person. You know what I mean? You're going to develop some kind of affection for somebody that you're exposed to on a daily basis. It's just human nature.
Nique?
Absolutely, I think you can. I think every day you grow to love someone because life, will throw you curveballs, and when you have that person there or people, Elmer, there helping you, out of certain situations or just making the load a lot easier, it breeds, those feelings of admiration and love, and and it makes you fall deeper in love, deeper connection. So yeah.
Elmer?
I think if you're a well-adjusted person, you know how to love, yourself. You know how to you can learn how to love people. The difficult part is knowing not to hate them. Not growing to hate them is probably the thing that falls into our paths all the time. You're with someone, and then they start to change who they are, or you change and you want to find different things, and you got to tell yourself, hey, what am I loving this person is easy. I do love this person, but what's making me stay? And that's, not growing resentment towards them and being committed to them.
Okay. Because I asked that question just because for the next one, should dating be more practical then? So instead of actually going after love and that feeling, should we start actually saying like, okay, this person is a morally good person, like they have a stable income, they look like they have a good trajectory on life, they'd be a good partner. Should we make dating more practical?
No.
Yeah.
John,
it depends.
John,
okay. It depends.
Actually, you know what? Hold on, wait. I haven't started with Elmer yet. Elmer, start us off.
No, that's fucking boring.
With
That's boring as shit. Why would you want that in a dating? The dating is like the wild, wild west, especially when you're our age. You're going.
What's the
out
point
there
of dating then?
To find a couple points. To find someone, I guess, but to also figure out what you want in someone, and that's tests, that's trial and error, that's making mistakes. So the more practical you make it, the less you're able to see of the unknown, the less you're able to see things that you might not be able to know that you wanted.
The whole point of the whole point of dating, like you're saying, dating multiple times, multiple people, is to try to see what you like and don't like. But if you're making more of a practical decision, you're going to get a lot more of that outcome that you do want, correct?
Maybe you're going to get a lot the same person. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get the same person you're dating, the same type of person. Because you're there going, all right, these are my things that I'm going to focus on, and this is where I'm going to go after. Instead of going, let me just wing it and have no rules to this shit and see what comes out.
Kristen.
I think, dating should be more practical. I think, I always, my favorite word, I guess, in these live streams is communication. And I feel like communicating like your priorities and what you want out of life and what you need and stuff, I think it should be more practical, and those conversations should happen more, and I feel like those, feelings grow after that. I feel like, we focus too much on the lust and infatuation and he made me feel special or she made me feel special, where I feel like it should be more practical. It should be like where your priorities lie, where, do your morals lie? Do your morals match up with mine? And should be more of that
How do you know your morals?
You should know yourself.
That just comes from when you're born?
That comes with learning over
living
time.
life,
self-reflection. How do you learn over time? How do you learn over time?
You should have insight on yourself. If you don't know and love yourself and know what you
should you have experience? How do you figure out the borders of that? Shouldn't you have experiences?
I don't know how old you are, but yes, I feel like we are all at a certain age, which we should have experiences to know where your morals kind of lie.
Right. Where do those experiences come from? They come from
Cinderella. They come from Cinderella.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
You learn.
You're trolling, Gilmer.
That's how you learn. No, I'm serious.
I get the point you're trying to make.
You go into the fire. You go in there and you meet a girl who's this type of person. You go, oh wait, no, let me go this way. You're
talking winging it. You're talking winging it versus thinking. Listen, obviously there are gonna be some hiccups with your practical decision, but you're trying to make the best possible decision you can for yourself. So it wouldn't really make sense to just say, let's see what happens, versus, you know what, this person has this, and this. I think they'd be a suitable partner.
But Clem,
long term.
Going back to our another question is we don't really know what we want. You know what I'm saying? You gotta by going through experiences, Kristen.
Which he's also saying by being practical, and you can still mess up. It's like you're not stuck with that one person for the rest of your life. You learn what you want and need by dating, but I'm saying by doing it practically, by noticing what you want and see what you want and say, hey, I didn't like that with that last relationship. I don't want it in my next one, is a practical way of thinking, not, have it going just based off emotion.
I think that I think people get it switched now, that the logical and the responsibility and the commitment is what makes people stay. And I don't think that's true. I think it is the emotion. I think that you need to have that fire with that person and keep it.
Emotion is so fickle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
of course,
it comes and goes.
But so are people. What makes us stay? So we can
practical choice.
We can quell our emotions.
No, you have to have affection for the person. You have to care for the person to want to maintain that relationship and to want what's best for them in the long run, and by extension, the unit.
That's
So on that point, I agree.
what happened
But
with the familiarity, though? I'm saying by choosing those practical things, and then that emotion will grow, and that affection will grow because you have similar
yes,
like views, and that's and I think sorry.
no, the problem is how much practicality are we talking about? Who decides what is considered practical dating? What about when you just meet somebody at a party and you have nothing in common, but you click and you have a great time just talking to them? Those things need to be taken into account too, because if there's somebody who mandates what is practical enough to constitute the beginning of a relationship, then you've taken away the freedom of choice from people. So it's got to be you have to look at it from both sides. Otherwise, you're going to be lacking in some way, at least for some length of time.
I think the problem, Clement, and we bring it up a lot with the 40-year-old women, is that they are too practical. The practicality is
they're delusional. There's a difference.
Yeah,
they're delusional.
I don't think so.
No, they go past practical to delusional. What I mean by that is
they missed out.
They stopped looking at things like, hey, is this person a good person? Is this person a suitable partner for me for my future? And they're thinking he needs to be 6'7" tall. His bank account needs to be longer than his dick. Like, that's really what they look for. And that's where it becomes extremely delusional, because it's like, lady, who are you that you're asking for all these stuff?
Right.
Beyonce can't even get all this stuff. Who are you?
What I'm saying is that's the evolution of being too practical. Instead of going out there and just wing. And
that's
just
the evolution
of
being ignorant.
Exactly. So going out there and trying over and over and failing over and over will make you delusional, because you keep saying, now you keep adding things to your checklist. You keep saying, okay, I like that he was 6 foot tall, but I didn't like that he had green eyes. Now I want someone with brown eyes. So he needs to be 6 foot tall and brown eyes. Okay, now I didn't like this guy because he had this, this, and this, but didn't have this. And you keep adding that checklist because you keep hopping into every single situation without actually thinking about it and just creating a longer and longer list, as opposed to take some time with yourself, think about exactly what you just went through, focus on what you want for the next one, and carefully pick that next partner.
That part is not what I'm arguing. I'm not arguing the self-reflection, like you do that with every after every relationship. But I'm saying is that the jump, just go for it. Go for whatever you want. Go take your chances out there, and then you'll find something.
Please explain that, because you're losing me.
So I think it's something to do with the question. The question's a little bit, because we're all defining practical in different ways. And
I think we actually agree.
Well, yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
I think
because
agree.
Of the question, we might be messing up. To practical to me means a girl goes, all right, well, I want a guy that's this, and this. Let's go.
Let me take my chance.
Yeah. Instead of going on Tinder, and I think relationship now is the most practical that we've ever had it, because it's right in our fucking hands. We go, we swipe, we get the girl that we like, we read their captions, we get to know them.
I gotta disagree there. You almost had me. Had me.
And it depends. Like I'm on Match.com. You go on Match, and you'll type in about my date, and you can select everything about them, literally everything. And if you don't care, you just hit doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But you have all these preferences. So do they want kids? What religion are they? You've got ethnicity. You've got location. You've got height. You've got all these things, and the physicals aren't as important. But those political and societal views are very important in a relationship.
Let me ask you this, yes. Elmer. Do you think in like the 19, I don't know, whatever, back when they had like the little Polaroid cameras, do you think it would have been a practical decision for them to look at a picture of a woman and say, she looks good, I'm going to go after her?
Yeah.
And that's going to be my goal. Like that's my pinnacle right there.
Hell yeah!
Because that's going completely against
thing.
What happens?
That's going completely against your argument.
Why do you mean? Why do you say that?
That's going completely against your argument, because you've got you're saying that emotion should play a huge part in it, but there's no emotion in your dick, man. There just isn't. Like, let's be honest. Like, yeah, she looks pretty, but in 40 years, she's gonna be saggy and old, and you have to actually like who she is and be compatible partners.
You haven't talked to my dick in a long time, so
I know it's been weeks, man.
It's been weeks. I'm not saying that's where that's all of it. I'm saying that's where
the initial.
That's where we start. Yeah. And that's the emotion. You see something and it catches you. It strikes you. You see a picture of a girl, and for some reason it's like whether it's attractivity, and I think maybe it's half that. I think the other half is.
I mean, guys are very visual, so
yeah. So you see a picture of a girl and you go, God damn, why not go after that? Instead of going, well, what is she a Republican? I don't know. You know what? I'm not gonna go for it.
Why I say that? Because that's time wasted. We don't get time back.
Yeah,
because if you spend too much time with someone and at the end of the day you overlooked a bunch of red flags, you don't get that time back. It's gone.
Yeah.
I would 100% rather go after a girl who I find less attractive, that I have more in common with, than an attractive woman who I don't know.
That's mad rude.
It doesn't matter. I want a person that I'm actually compatible with versus.
Yeah, I don't understand how that's rude.
Like
you're ugly, but you're a nice person. I'll go out with you.
You never said ugly.
No, I said that I'm not as attracted to. So listen, if there's a perfect 10, but she thinks that pedophilia should be legalized, I probably don't want to associate with her.
Yeah.
Versus a solid 8.
But John, go out on that
actually
first
likes
date,
video games and wants to have a family and cares about things that I care about.
Yeah, how do you find out she likes pedophiles? You go on that date. That's what I'm saying. That's the jump. Go start with that.
Yes. The problem is
so after the first date, because me personally, I think it takes probably multiple dates to make a practical decision on deciding to spend more time with someone. Would you agree, Elmer?
No.
Okay, interesting. Why not?
I think it's a feeling. I think you got to trust your gut. I think if you like spending time with that person, just keep spending time with that person until you don't have fun with that person anymore.
Yes and no.
Wow.
Yes and no.
That scares me.
I'm not gonna debate in my head on the third date. Well, it's been 3 dates and she acts like this and she told me that she likes Donald Trump. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do.
No. It's not so much the idea of. Hold on. It's not so much the idea of.
I'm lusting.
Yeah, that's it. It's not so much the idea of it has to be 3 dates, but you need to get to know what that person actually thinks, how they feel about issues, their values.
Yeah.
Like what they actually care about.
But Clem, you might not know that for 5 months. You might not know that for 10 years. People,
you might not, but that's what you learn as much as you can, and you make a practical decision as in, I'm going to commit to this person now.
Yeah.
Because you learn as much as you can and you commit. That's what I'm saying. We don't do that because we wing it a lot and hope for the best. And that's a scary thing to do because we don't get that time back. When you wing it and hope for the best, and 6 years down the line, there's a kid in the way, and you realize, like, okay, I've been miserable with this person this whole time, but I've liked these 40 things.
Let me just say this, because Clem just proved my fucking point. You go with your practicality and your logic, and that's what makes you stay, even though you've been feeling like you didn't want to leave for the longest fucking time. If you just went with your gut. And
no. I said if you went with your gut, you're gonna stick it out.
No, that's not true.
Let me give you a great example.
Hold on, John. Clem, you just said that you realize that you hated this person. Why do you have to realize that?
If you're
realize you didn't hate somebody,
if you're making a practical decision, you're not making it off your gut. So you're gonna understand that there are things about this person that I'm not going to like, but I'm gonna take the chance off of, like, I'm willing to accept those things that I don't like, because deciding to stay long with someone is not about the things you like. Those things will come and go. The things that you gotta accept that you don't like is like, do I really want to accept these things?
But you're ignoring that you that you hate this person. That's
What?
that's
That's not ignore.
You
Do you
just
think?
said it. He
Do you
just said it.
think?
He said
Do you think?
you
Do
realize
you
that
think?
you have a
Do you
kid. It's been
think
6 years on
that?
the road, and you don't like being with this person.
Do you
He said
think
it.
that you can get 100% of everything out of one person?
Of course not.
Exactly. And what I'm saying is, understand that at max you're going to get 80%, and know that that 20%, if you really really don't like it, you need to walk away from it. Or if you can understand that, okay, that 20% I don't like, but I could stomach it for that 80% of that person.
Yeah.
And you make that practical decision to move ahead with that person and commit to them and say, listen, there are going to be days where I'm not going to like this, but it's worth it in the long run to build a life with this person. And that's a practical decision, as opposed to, you know what? My dick did jump up when I see her. So,
Well, I'm saying
if your dick keeps jumping, if it stops jumping, then get the hell out of there.
Oh my god.
No, listen,
wow, that's
man.
bad.
Here, let me give you an example. All right. This personal life experience. I was with a woman for 7 years. We loved each other very much. We had a couple similar interests, but very different political and religious views. She had different desires and end goals for her life than I did. The end result was that after 7 years, we wasted 7 years of each other's time.
7 years gone.
I went from being 22 to 29, and I'm back at square one. And that's
gone.
20 is just gone because of emotion. Yeah. Whereas if I had looked at it logically and took a step back and said, listen, we want different things. And if we can't get past these and figure out how to compromise or work through them, I'm wasting my time. But instead, I stayed because of a feeling. And that's a problem.
Yeah, that could be I'm not saying
a serious problem.
I'm not saying going 100% with your emotions is the thing. God emotions. That's the same thing.
So you need to be able to balance priorities with that emotion.
Let me argue because this is gonna go into a bigger conversation of what wasted time is, and I'll argue, John, that what it wasn't actually emotion. It was you trying to plan out your life, and then you went, oh shit, all right, I gotta go. That's the thing. You think your life is wasted because at this age you planned out your life to this age, and instead of going, hey, listen, I'm just gonna go by how the tide turns, by what I feel, by what my gut says. No, I'm not gonna plan anything out because now the worst
John,
thing
you got a fan now.
What's up, dude?
Because now the worst thing happened to you is you feel like you've wasted 7 years of your life instead of saying, hey, listen, I spent 7 years with this person and some of it was shitty, some of it was great, but that's how life is.
You think it takes you 7 years to actually realize bad things about someone that you don't like?
You
think it'll take you 7 years?
No, you know what it is?
The mentality of saying that your life is wasted is because you planned your life out in a way you had an end goal at this age right now.
No, it's not necessarily that. It's that's
wasted.
You go into a relationship.
That's wasted, bro.
You go into a relationship and you say, here are the things that I want. Right?
Yeah.
You're vocal about it. You have to.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Kristen. I see you.
I just want to point out that we are all debating this and none of us are married, and there is one married person here who hasn't spoken on this at all.
That's true.
I feel
that's true.
We can debate as much as we want, but maybe she knows
choice.
Maybe she knows a little bit more than us.
School us, please.
Not necessarily.
No. Yeah. What?
No.
I'm
drop
a
the
married
truth
person
bombs.
that believes in polygamy. So
exactly.
You may not want.
No. Okay, so let's just say, is every single day love in America?
No.
Depends on what you mean by love.
Is every single day that kindling, burning passion?
No.
Okay, so
you behave as if it is. That's the important part.
There's not kindling, but there's something there. You always have to have something there, right? Or no? I completely hate this person, but I guess I'll stay. No, right? So
no, like you said, there has to be something there.
There has to be some sort of affection. You have to be able to set aside whatever's going on.
Because
to further the relationship.
That's you emotional people. Everybody don't get married for love. Like
that's funny.
like we talked about arranged marriages before. Like, no, you get married to satisfy a need, and whatever that need is, can be
what I'm
an
saying
array
is
of things.
that you have to behave within a relationship, even on the bad days, as if you have to act towards that other person in a way that shows that you do care. You have to help them through life.
When I'm angry at my husband, like, I'm not talking to you.
John, maybe that's why she left you after 7 years. You didn't tell her that she's being annoying.
Damn,
oh
bro.
no, I did. I promise.
My man is fighting, bro.
then you're not.
No, you
you're not
go
acting
to
what
your
you're
corner.
saying.
It's like a boxing match.
Exactly.
No, but you have your argument,
and then somebody has to decide to concede here, and then you come back and like, okay, I was tripping. I'm over it, and let's move on. But it's not, in these heated arguments and heated moments, it's never that, oh, I love you anyway. And
no, what I'm saying is that you have to be able to put that aside to take care of the relationship. So like you have a fight the night before and you go to bed and you're always the one who makes coffee for the person. What, are you just not going to make them coffee?
I'm not making coffee.
You're just gonna,
there we go.
But then John, you don't passive aggressively not make a coffee. You go, I'm not making coffee, bitch. Get out of here. Make your own coffee.
It goes something like that.
I don't know. I think that you have to be able to get past, because everybody fights. Everybody has disagreements.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you let that disagreement affect your ability to move forward in life, you're just cheating yourself.
Yeah, but what sustains the relationship is the goal, is the end game. It's not love. It's not anything that's pretty with a bow tied on it. It's just that, hey, we have a family.
And sometimes you're gonna scream at them.
Of course, but the thing is that you have to keep that in the back of your mind, the end goal, the relationship, the center. And if you just be passive aggressive and terrible to your significant other, that's not helping the situation.
But
if you remove, but see, like you're looking at it as being, because you're passive aggressive, that means that it's just going to end everything.
Exactly.
Obviously, listen.
Not that it's going to end everything, but it's negatively.
This is going to play a little bit into what Elmer is saying, what Elmer was saying, and I can't believe I'm doing this. Screw you. Yeah. But listen. There's still that underlying, and what is there that Elmer is not seeing? It's respect.
Yes.
You still have respect for each other. It's not love that you're talking about. It's not lust. It's still respect. So you could say, screw you, make your own coffee, but you're still not going to cross a line that you guys have both drawn and agreed to.
The boundaries,
Exactly. There's still boundaries. As mad as you guys get, sure, you'll be annoyed at each other, but you're not going to leave each other because of that. You're not going to break up everything because of that, because you have that respect for that person. And that's what we think. You think staying with someone for a long time is all lovey-dovey. No, it's you respect that person. And you pick practical choices and traits in someone that you're saying, I respect this person and I'm going to stick with this person because of these traits.
Yeah.
On the downside, he has these traits that I'm not fond of, but I'll suck it up because I respect this person.
Yeah.
It's like to make the coffee. I'm not making you coffee. Screw you. Or I'm not paying the mortgage this month. Pay your own mortgage.
Yeah.
It's like that. Like,
okay. That's big.
What do you mean?
But where do you draw the line there?
That's what I'm saying. There's a boundary there, and that's that's where that respect aspect comes into play.
This is where you draw the line with your emotion. When it feels like she's fucking with you, then you tell her to stop. That's your line. You just hit my line, miss.
But you grow to learn each other, right? So you know how far is too far. Because you've had these arguments in marriages before. To even get to a marriage, you've had these arguments that have went too far. You may have broken up before and then got back together. So you try each other, you push each other, and then you know how far to go. And I'm not making you coffee if I'm mad at you.
Yes, thank you, Nique. Okay, so she just said it. She says you push each other and you try with each other. Now let's take a step back. We're single. We're going out on these dates. What are we gonna do? I'm gonna go out there and like push people, maybe go hang out with a Republican that I don't really agree with, just to see where I'm at. Maybe hang out.
You should. But
Where you going
I
with
don't
this,
agree.
girl?
Well,
Who's
I
it?
didn't get to go answer the practical question because we
Oh, I'm
kind of started
sorry.
talking.
Yeah,
No, but it's okay
I thought
because
I went through it at that point.
it's okay, yeah. But I just
Please, Nique.
I
I
don't
need to
feel
know.
like, well, I'll just give you this then, since we've all kind of touched on it anyway. But I feel like dating should not be a situation where you are monogamous. I feel like dating should be open and you should date multiple people from multiple walks of life. That way you can for sure learn yourself and know what you do and don't like. Because if you take this one person at a time, you're going to be 50 years old by the time you're ready, to get married. But if you have this group of people and, you're scratching things off, what you do and don't like, or how this makes me feel, I don't really like this, and you're learning yourself and you're growing, you're able to make a conscious decision of who I want to be a partner.
Let me ask
with,
you this: are you getting sexually involved with every single one of those people?
if you want to,
Yes,
it's your
please.
world. Like,
Yeah.
if that's your thing and you can handle that emotionally, I wouldn't suggest that for women, but
Yeah, I was gonna say because it's a lot tougher for women than it would be for guys. I mean, some guys as well, but
Nique's right. It's your world. Like you have no pressure one way or the other to do whatever. And then that's part of going with your gut, being like, okay, I like this guy. Let me spend some time with him. Let me give him this, and then we'll see what happens after. Like that's something that I don't think you can practically make a decision for, whether you want to sleep with a guy. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to your gut has to tell you whether this guy's gonna stay.
If you're considering it for some time, I feel like it could be a practical decision if you're considering it.
But how do you know he won't leave after? You know what I'm saying? You gotta take a leap. That's a gut.
You don't know a lot
feeling.
of things though, right?
That's why you gotta trust your gut. That's the best process.
No. Okay, so go back to this gut, bro. Listen, like
I got a big gut.
Would it make sense for a woman to just sleep with a guy just because, like, oh, I kind of get a good feeling about him, or it's kind of like, okay, I kind of like this guy because he actually meets these standards, and I could see myself if let's just say a kid was to come in, I can stick it out with this person because because those are practical choices. Versus I like this person that gives me a tingly feeling. Oh my God, I'm pregnant. What do I do? This guy is a bum. He doesn't have anything.
Like he's got pretty hair.
He's got pretty hair.
That's not
a six pack.
That's all part of it. It all comes to it all wraps together. That's you need a piece of each. But at the end, when you make the decision to sleep with them and you don't know what the future is going to entail, the only thing that you have is your gut, your feeling, how you feel during that.
But that's in any decision you make.
Of course, and that's why I'm saying that emotion plays
when you're dating people, you're meeting their personal representative. That's not even everyone has their best foot forward. Like. And you don't know people, and some people are together years and don't know each other. You know what I mean? So 100%. I just think that you have to do your best to be practical. Now, can you always be practical in every decision that you make? No, you have to make good decisions all the time.
Yeah.
But I would definitely try to navigate my life to where I'm practical in things that I'm thinking about them and thinking about consequences and weighing options. Before I'm just like, oh, I feel really strongly that horse number 4 is going to win. And horse number 4 is in the lead the entire race until the last round. And then here comes 1.
I feel strongly that Doge is going to the moon, so invest all my money into it.
Yeah. Would you say Doja Cat? I love her.
She's actually pretty good. I do like her.
I do like her a lot. I think that
I don't know who that is.
Of course.
No comment.
No. But I think that Nique is right, 100% right. And I think that you don't trust it, but I believe that your gut is doing all those things. That's why it's giving you the feeling. That's why it.
I think you just love your gut at this point.
Thank you. But I think your subconscious is already doing that. It's already evaluating everything. That's why you have a feeling. That's why you have a conscience. That's why
I think we're higher order thinking mammals. We're higher order thinking mammals, meaning that first initial thing, that gut feeling, it's your instinct.
Yeah.
It's us as guys like, ooh, pretty girl I want to sleep with. That's it. That's it. That's that first initial thought. That feeling, that's what you're getting. After that, that's where the higher mammal thinking comes from. That's why we're not animals. We're not savages. We're higher order thinking.
You never had a
we make a practical decision after that. Because if not, then you'd be trying to sleep with every chick that's walking down with a mini skirt on 42nd Avenue.
Have you ever been wrong when you had the feeling someone was going to lie to you?
Yeah, of course. And
I feel like that, but you had to think about it, like be like you needed the proof, or you had to think about it practically. Your gut can be wrong, but
your gut can be wrong.
Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's another one. Some people.
But let me ask Clement this: you never had a gut feeling that someone was lying to you?
I have.
So it's not just about girls, right?
No, it's about it's really about everything. Yes, but now if I had that feeling, I have to now make practical decisions. Why I had that feeling? What did I see of them? How did I see them interact with other people? Have they said anything that would make me second guess that? Yes, that feeling can be there, but that feeling can sometimes you misfire as a human. Yeah. Sometimes that feeling is just a feeling that's there for no reason.
I will say this: being practical and trusting that, and then having a gut feeling and trusting that is about the same thing. It's 50-50. They have the same amount of success.
Like, no, like, have you ever met somebody and you just didn't like them and you don't know why? You just don't like them.
And then you right now, John.
And then you talk to them and you're like, all right, that person is a decent human being, and I actually do kind of like them. But you were just wrong. Your gut feeling was wrong, and it was either some physical characteristic or some subconscious, instinctual response to
your own ignorance,
their scent, or the time of day,
your own ignorance, like
picking back of what you're saying. Yep. Picking back of what you're saying,
can't
John.
Just go with your gut all the time, because then
sometimes
you're missing
it
out.
Could be your own. It could be your own insecurities that you're projecting onto that person, that's that misfire that you're getting from your gut.
Well, but before anything else, what we gotta work on is improving on ourselves. But that's not the issue at hand. That's not the question. Like that's
the most important issue.
That's the most important thing, is work on knowing, or just working on yourself in a general manner where you're trying to be a better person as much as possible. But then what do you do after that?
You continue to work on yourself and do the best that you can, because that makes your small part of the world better.
There you go.
My God.
And that makes everybody's world better.
I don't know. That gut feeling it's definitely a tough thing to really try to pick things out for the rest of your life with, because
it's scary. I'll say that it's definitely scary.
It's not a smart move.
Right. Yeah, of course. It's not a smart move.
Yeah. Practical choices are smart moves. They're the smartest moves you can get.
Of course. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hitler was smart.
Yeah, he was.
He was incredibly intelligent. Just misguided.
He was an artist.
Mm-hmm. Very logical.
He actually had beautiful paintings too. But he really did. He was a great artist. He was.
I have one of them.
But he kind of made some bad decisions.
If you look at all leaders, they could have easily went to a bad path very quickly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What changed?
All of them.
How come we never talk about Stalin? Everybody talks about Hitler, but Stalin killed way more people.
Hitler had a gut feeling about Jews. Look what happened. It was a gut feeling, bro.
Was it a gut feeling?
It was a gut feeling. It was a gut feeling. And look what happened.
I just like when someone's losing an argument, they always have to bring.
It's always Hitler. I forget what it's called, but it's a real thing.
Yeah, it's called loving Hitler too much. I'm kidding, guys. But why not bring up Hitler? He's a piece of garbage.
Well,
now he's dead. So
it's true.
You know what?
That was romantic, guys. Very, very. On that note, guys, I really appreciate you coming to the panel. Do you have any other questions for anyone else? Me? The floor is open.
How did we get to Hitler? That's my question. How did we get to Hitler?
Someone was losing an argument. Someone was losing the argument, so they threw the Hitler grenade. Right?
I honestly think I won that.
You just got to throw the Stalin back at them. Stalin killed more people. Why not him?
Well, again, thanks thanks for coming, guys. For anyone out there watching, really appreciate you. Yeah. That's for Elmer.
Yeah, I'm a pedophile
too. Wow. Demonetized, just like that. The gay guy and now Elmer, just like. But guys, I really appreciate you coming on here. Really would love to have you back again sometimes. Disagreements, agreements, all alike. Really want to put out a better message for anyone out there, for any younger person out there. Let them know that, hey, even if we were given wrong message, we're still trying to find the right message and give it to you guys. So on that note, we will be calling it a night. Thank you guys, and have a good one.
They know they should really start speaking my mind in the booth. Start speaking the truth. Might get shot for it, but MLK did too.
Look to the sky, ask God why. Innocent lives have to die. One thing I know, a flower will grow once you plant the seed inside your soul.
Now we could paint the perfect picture without belittling each other. Cause under God's system we really one another's brother. And the system set up just to make one another struggle. Work it out like we gaining muscle. I done seen Flint, Michigan in the inner cities. They pissing in project buildings that got a roof that leaks, resulting in missing ceilings. Hard to sleep. Children going to schools dealing issues deep. Teacher got the nerve to ask what's the feeling. He got up and started lashing out. See, it's a start. Physical display and mental destruction. Yeah, now that's the art. Politicians, government instructing you to do your part. It ain't hard to see they trying to keep black in the back, just like Rosa Parks. Cops shooting blacks as if they get a token from God. School rob you with needed resources, but you finance like cars. Too many of us worrying about what we be spending at bars, while queens are done playing themselves through the subconscious mirage. And here I was a young boy just praying to get a menage with two of the baddest Niques, hoping they shift my stick like some cars. And when you're lonely in your darkest thoughts come, I know it's hard, but God shines his light on all that play their part, and it's the start.
Look to the sky, ask God why. Innocent lives have to die. One thing I know, a flower will grow once you plant the seed inside your soul.
See, I'm a poet and the best part of me shows it. Here to speak the message of what is known, but not what it takes, expose it. Listen closer as I take you on a mental path. See divisions, the math, hoping we clash on lower levels just like in the past. Before we begin to see spared lives, keep in mind the first 3 letters of unity starts with you and I. And maybe then we can all thrive, changing the narratives of our lives, finding belief from inside. We gotta come together, different feathers, and we fly together despite any weather, evolving up forward just like propellers, using negatives to fuel positives. How we change the mark, just like taking the devil's flames just to warm the coldest heart. Mama knew it from the start. Rondecimo would be a spark to lead the light that works its way out, illuminate through the dark. Funny cause my skin is dark despite the stereotypes that exemplify brilliance, cause I found that genius within my mind. You see words create worlds when you use the term tear. Your mind takes what it sees and mimics that just like a mirror. So if we change the way we speak, conscious the energy we give, we'll have a world full of positive word to jigger. Can I live?
Look to the sky, ask God why.